So Nigel, you're with Layar. Tell me first of all what Layar is.
Layar is an augmented reality company. That's where the AR in Layar comes from, and we use image recognition technology to allow publishers, magazine publishers, and anybody who produces printed materials to link what they present in the physical realm to their digital assets or their partners' digital assets.
So that sounds, most people will be familiar with that idea from the idea of QR codes or URLs, short form URLs on a website. So how does this differ from a QR code, say?
Well, you could imagine that Layar's kind of like a QR code on steroids, so there's no longer any code involved, and what we're doing is taking the printed image that runs in the magazine or the newspaper or as a poster on the wall, and we have the publisher upload that to our servers, and then they use our interface to add the digital content they would like the end user, the reader, to see.
Okay, can you give me an example of it?
Yeah, certainly. For example, right here at Magnet, the Magnet Brochure was made interactive. We worked with the designer, K9 Design, to produce this front cover and the content inside. And as you'll see on the top left-hand corner, there's a call to action saying this is interactive, scan with Layar. You download our app, you get the app on your phone, and that's that blue AR symbol there. And once we come back here, I'll just come back a little bit so I can get more of the image in the viewfinder here, and then you just tap the screen, and now what we're doing is we're actually doing an image map, and you can see there that this now becomes interactive and displays an animated version of the image below.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then throughout the magazine there's additional interactive content that links out to video content, to social media channels like Twitter and Facebook. You can hear and see sessions from previous years. You can take a look at maybe some keynote speeches that have been made in other environments from the panelists that have been invited to attend and present to the conference. We really use this as a launching pad to go from a simple print brochure and a print manifestation to the digital world.
Cool. Can you show me another example there?
Yeah, sure. So this is an example that was done in the States for a musician, Sean Paul. So here we've got, and I'm just basically going to tap this screen here, and hang on a minute, I've got to get a little bit, there we go. And you can see here, the artist comes out now. I've got my phone turned and mute because we were just in a session, so I'll just...
Interactiveness, you know what I mean? Give thanks for the support of the album. Today is my album's birthday, the full frequency in full effect, you know what I mean? Right here, you have my social media. Click on any one of those. Up above me, you have all kind of news, you know what I mean? From tour dates to my videos to all kind of thing going on. Just check me out, check me out. Live and living and definitely Thanksgiving. Full frequency. Kaboom!
So there's a video introduction now. If I were to just take my phone and tap on any of the buttons, like for example here I can follow Sean Paul's Twitter feed,
right.
And then go back to the environment here. I can check out his tour dates. I can see his YouTube
that's mapping
channel.
Right to the card, right? Like
yeah, and it's just taken straight from that image, so we can go to his YouTube channel,
right.
And now you can see all of the Sean Paul videos. Close that back down. I can buy his album if I want to, so now I can go out and it's not logged on the iTunes store for Canada. So, but
okay.
In all of these examples, basically what you're doing is using your what desire you create in print to activate the interest of the consumer and give them a worthwhile and valuable extension on the experience.
So if you're a publisher, you basically upload PDFs to your server and you use an interface to overlay the interactivity you want onto that image, right?
Absolutely. It requires you to have the digital assets, and now you can maximize the opportunity of what you've currently got, or you can plan an entire interactive campaign and go forward and create a content related just to your specific requirements.
Right. And you can update afterwards, right? So if the postcard comes up and stuff changes, you can just update that on your server, right?
Absolutely. So say for example there was that video, Sean Paul had a new video that he wanted to present. He would simply go into the Layar Creator interface, or his label would, and they would change that link, and instantaneously that would populate a new presentation for the end user.
Right, and that's available on, the app is on iOS, Android, any other platform?
BlackBerry World through the Android Exchange there. So any BlackBerry device running BlackBerry 10 and up can download the app as well.
Cool. And how much does it cost for publishers to be involved?
So you can get going for, I think it's a free entry. So you download the Layar Creator platform. You can upload materials to test to see how it's going to work for your publication. Use our ad-supported model, which is free. Then once you choose to go publish a campaign in the live environment and you want to push it into print with call to actions and everything, you probably don't want other people's ad messages turning up, so you use the Pro Pages option, and then that starts at $60 a page. So for example, the magnet cover, that image live on our servers for 12 months is $60. If you looked at the number of pages in this 32-page brochure, there were 24 published with Layar interactivity. So 24 pages at $60 is $1,440. So a very affordable entry level. We also offer a full Creative Studio option. So if you wanted to do this but not have the workload, we have a Layar Creative Studio in Amsterdam that will put together the ideation. They'll come up with the concept and the content requirements. They will build and design the campaign components. They'll build the campaign. They'll publish it and test it, and even promote it for you. So we have that full range of opportunity as well. If a publisher feels that, hey, this is great, I'd love to be able to do it, but I just don't have the bandwidth right now.
Cool. Can we end off with one more demonstration?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the ones that I really I'm going to indulge, or ask you to indulge me rather. One of the components that I really like about the examples I've got here is a 360-degree experience. So this is from Switzerland. This is a travel brochure, and we're getting a Wi-Fi signal issue in the building here, so I'm just going to hold it again there. There we go. Now, can you see that symbol on the middle of this card? So I just tap that symbol. Now I'm going to launch this. So what's happening right now is it's accessed the 3D asset. Now, if you track with me as I move my phone, now you're as if you were at the middle of that image.
That's great.
We've been able to launch directly from the static image into a 3D environment, which panoramic view of that Swiss Alps during the summertime. No snow in that one.
Very nice.
The other one that I really like about this is just a little bit is a Canadian context. This has been done with Fila, but the RMP Athletic, the Canadian brand, has been running interactive campaigns with Layar now for a while. And you see how that image they've integrated in entirely. A beautifully crafted campaign. And very well executed. If I now just switch over and show you one last one for Opal. This one's a kind of cute HTML integration, so you can use the plug and again, that's the Wi-Fi issue there. You can use the plug and play environment, but here what you can do is you tap into the advanced feature set. So can you see the animation happening in the background? That's all achieved through an HTML coding, which you can use through the advanced feature set. If I now just tap on the headlight symbol, I can turn the headlights on and off, which is really just a nice little thing to be able to do. I can also go into these other feature sets, so I can hit the play button there, and it'll take me out to a video. So now I've gone contextually from that environment into a new one. This integration requires you to do a little bit of a plug to play, but I'm just going to come back out of that and show you this other component, which was also built in HTML. Now we're going through kind of like a visual reference of like the sales brochure for the car itself. And this was put together by a division of GM in Poland. So if you're European, you'll know that Opel car brand very well. So there's brands, services, agencies, publishers, magazines are a huge option to the world. Porter magazine, which is a new magazine which was launched in February of this year. They came out of the e-commerce world. So Net-a-Porter have their own existing app where they were getting people to purchase consumer items, not really luxury but fashion-oriented items. They decided to launch a magazine so that they could convert their style brand into something more tactile and textual. but they wanted to retain their digital connection, so they took the Layar coding and integrated it via our SDK into their own app. And now when you launch the Net-a-Porter app, which I have on my phone as well, as, so if I go down to the Net-a-Porter branding app and I launch that, that's their standard landing page. Now I go to their scan, and at the bottom here it says Scan Porter Magazine. So now I'm going to scan Porter Magazine, and there you see the familiar screen of Layar. But there's no Layar branding in there, it's all to do with Net-a-Porter. So then if you imagine this was the magazine, I'm now scanning the magazine. Whoops. Let me try that again, beg your pardon, it's picking up something else. Just force that to scan again. Now, here we go. So let's just catch an image. There we go, the scanning is happening now. And there you can see the buttons appear. I'm going to link to that YouTube video of Lady Gaga. And now I'm out and into a YouTube environment which is controlled by Porter Magazine's channel. And now we get to see the behind the scenes cover shoot for Lady Gaga. And there's the branding from Porter Magazine. So you can see that what you're using is a printed context to launch into digital assets, and this means that print becomes more valuable because it's able to tie into all of the investments that brand's making elsewhere. So whether they're investing in social media, whether they've got a YouTube channel, it's all integrated into the one point of departure from print.
Great, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.